Anna Nasirundi, a resident of Luwule, a rural community in Mpigi district, central Uganda, has committed to educating her daughter. The child Joy is a special needs child born with partial paralysis. At 9, the girl is in primary 2 at the Wisdom Hub Primary School, a non-profit-run inclusive community school.
Nganze mami wa Joy okwewaayo okutwala Joy ku ssomero kubanga n'abalema nabo bantu si bisolo. Ndabyeko abalema abasawo ba driver ba engineers nga balema kubanga Uganda ya leero nawo ogimanyi. Even a house girl alina okubeera nga yakola ki nga yasoma. Bw'obanga tosomye you are nothing. The reason lwaki natwalayo Joy ku ssomero naye abeereko ne kyayiga aleme okubeerawo nti no mami yankotogera lwaki yatwala bano eno okitegeera bano lwakubanga balamu nedda.
It is the only school in the district affording learning to children with disabilities. Here, 2 in every 5 children have a form of disability. They are paired with their peers to appreciate each other's challenges and possibilities. The purpose is to build a generation of inclusion-conscious children and support those with special needs to attain full academic potential.
Those that don't have severe disabilities are engaged into an inclusive setting. What I mean, they learn in a mainstream class with those that don't have disabilities. If the children are out playing, we get them together such that each can embrace the other's challenges. That is one. But also the children in the mainstream get to understand that there are also some kind of children that were born in a unique way but need to be loved and appreciated. We are trying to train the young generation to support people with disabilities no matter the age and background. So we hope in the future these are going to be the ambassadors of people with disabilities wherever they will go.
What is the day today, class? The day today is Friday.
The learning mode of instruction is based on what the school terms as I do, we do, you do model. Here, the children collectively work on learning tasks to full comprehension before progressing to individual assignments.
Then you count them all together, okay?
As a teacher, I first write work on the blackboard and then we do it together as a class, and then I pick one child to do for us one number, and then we do an activity at last. So every child has to participate.
Those with special needs, we give them more time compared to the normal ones because their grasping or their rate or capability of getting what is being taught requires slightly a higher period of time compared to the normal ones.
Teachers here employ learning aids such as flashcards to provide tangible examples that are relevant to the child's experiences. This helps to enhance their cognitive abilities and comprehension.
During class time, we give them examples basing on the topic which is being taught. And we usually have guided discussions with them, as well as providing them with the learning aids, for example, flashcards, and making them to construct what we call picture stories as a way of improving their mental capability.
Joy byayize ku ssomero bingi kubanga Joy asobola okuwandiika, asobola okusoma sentence. Joy asobola okujja n'akuwandiikira kakiiti n'akugamba like ku Mother's Day yampa kakiiti, Happy Mother's Day, I love you mami, okitegeera. Nange nensanyuka mwene ngamba omwana wange kirabika waliwo waalaga in case newe mba nga siriiwo asobola okuwandiika leta nga bwe bali mixed abalema n'abalamu naye nze ndaba kimuyambye kubanga n'okwogera yali tayogera bulungi naye kati ssaawa eno asobola okwogera bulungi.
Aside from education, the school offers tailored assistance to children with disabilities through other various intervention programs. It runs other support initiatives such as physiotherapy, speech and occupational therapy, as well as nutritional support programs to improve the health of their learners. The Wisdom Hub Primary School is gaining popularity in this community and beyond Mpigi district because of its inclusive learning models. Ronald Mumbere, for example, hails from the southwestern district of Kasese, about 400 kilometers away. He lives with length discrepancy, a condition where one arm is shorter than the other. He had required special assistance, which he could not get in his home. At the school, he has made significant progress in writing and comprehension.
Basomesa mathematics, ne English, ne literature, ne RE. I like shading and write. They help me to do work. They fish, they carry me food, they carry me for tea. I'm happy.
I feel happy because they are my friends and they are like me. I can play with them, even helping them. We share things like pens, books, even others.
Special needs education in Uganda is a mixed bag. Although all public schools in the country are supposed to be inclusive, they lack the capacity to meet the learning needs of children with disabilities.
Educating a learner with special needs, it requires more resources. For instance, a child who is blind uses a braille machine and braille paper for writing and reading. Now, braille paper, one carton of braille paper is 350. Then a braille machine in itself is 3.5. Now, braille paper and braille machine is like I'm having this pen and this. So how many of the parents can afford that, and how many of the schools can afford that? All schools should be ready to receive learners with a disability, but that is not the reality. We are talking about schools not having enough teachers, and you know we have had issues of wage bill all over. So if the teachers are not enough already, then do you think what are we going to do at the end of the day?
According to a 2020 fact sheet from the World Bank, about 16% of children in Uganda have a disability. However, in rural communities, these children have minimal or no access to education. The only available option are the few established special schools, which are distant from their communities and costly.
Partly it's a budget issue. We have teachers trained out there, but some of them are not willing to teach learners with special needs. When they look at maybe the remuneration is also small, because across other countries, teachers who are teaching learners with special needs have a higher pay. In essence, for an inclusive school, it should prepare for this learner before the learner comes. And when I talk about preparing, the ramps must be there, the teachers must be there, the materials must be there, and everything. But when we go to many of our schools, we first wait for a learner to be enrolled and then we start adjusting. Yet the adjustment must be done, and this is because of the resources. In our country, we cannot have all these things in a school.
The Department for Special Needs Education operates on only 0.02% of the Ministry of Education's total budget of 2.5 trillion. This limits the implementation of programs such as remuneration of special needs teachers, building support infrastructure, and purchase of learning materials. Despite these challenges, the government has enrolled about 100,000 children in both primary and secondary levels in special and integrated schools.
We have tried as Ministry of Education, as government, and that is why we are saying, let these learners go to schools that are already established to be supported better there. If there is a special school, there is an integrated school, access those type of schools as we work on all these other inclusive schools to also take on learners. The government is providing instructional materials, things like the braille machines, things like the sign language dictionaries, things like even the cream for the albinos, because also the albinos have issues, like hats, providing magnifying glasses. Those who have short sight can also use magnifying glasses. We're also going to provide like the JAWS, which the blind use, so that we facilitate on the teaching learning processes.
The government's efforts are insufficient to meet the learning needs of children with special needs. They are being supplemented by mostly civil society players. For the last 13 years, the school has seen over 200 children with various disabilities attain full academic potential. Although the model is affording more children in the community and beyond a chance at education, segregative perceptions are still holding some parents from sending children to these schools. According to local chairperson 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗏, parents fear that having their children study alongside those with disabilities might hinder their academic performance.
Nasooka okuwulira ekyogga nti bagenda kugatta abaana. Nange saasooka nnyo okukitegeera. Era nenfuna abazadde abannumba wano nga baŋŋamba abaana baffe banaasoma batya n'abaana abo. Nengenda ne njogerako ne director. Naye bwe nagenda nkitegeera ne ndaba nti abaana bali nabo bantu. Nti singa tubaawula ennyo mulimu bye bagenda okusobola okuyigira ku bano bannaabwe. Nengenda nga nsomesa bwe nti abazadde era kati abamu bagenze bakitegeera nti tekirina mutawaana omwana okusoma nono kubanga ono yalina oyigiriza ono ebyaki ebyembeera z'abantu ze tutambulira.
Most of the business-owned schools thought that if they integrate a child with a disability, they will not get any more business. And in actual sense, one of our own was chased out of school because parents had threatened the head teacher that if that child wasn't withdrawn, they were going to take away the children.
The school's collective learning model is a drop in the ocean of existing policy gaps in Uganda on special needs education.
Now we have quite a number of policies as Ministry of Education that first of all promote education for all. But a specific policy which would be now in the area of special needs and inclusive education hasn't yet been approved. Because in this policy, it would talk about the type of schools and how the schools should be run, the type of teachers and what the teachers should do. If we're talking about inclusion, what is the inclusion we want to see? We do not have that specific policy. We have been working on it, I think, right from 2017. I want to say we have moved. Where we are now, we are at cabinet level. And I believe if this policy is concluded, it will change the landscape. Things of special needs and inclusive education will be done in a better way.
By design, inclusive teaching is slightly slower than normal pedagogy. It is designed to accommodate the needs and pace at which children with special needs adapt to learning.
The maximum time that is being given to such children actually slows down our syllabus coverage, because you can't leave them out and move at their own pace, yet we also have normal children who have a higher pace of grasping what is being taught.
The performance, I know they are coping up. There are those that are not graded by the percentages, but they are graded how they have perceived their things. Yes. Then there are those that can do graded according to the normal setting. Those that are not so much disabled. Like for Joy, you saw, she has a disability with the arm and the leg, but for the brain works so well.
Abakulembeze ab'ebitundu ebirala magezi ge ndaali badde mbawa n'omulanga gwe njagala obbakubira nti bafeeyo nnyo okusooka okusomesa abazadde omwana oyo oba abaamulina, n'ekyokubiri bateekeyo nnyo bo ng'abakulembeze okuba nga bagenda ne balambula omwana oyo, bamala omulambula ne bafuba okuyamba omuzadde ono okulaba nti batwala omwana oyo gy'alina okubeera. Naddala nga badde tebannafuna amasomero agalinga gano ku bitundu byabwe.
Obubaka bwe mpa abazadde abalina abaana bwe batyo banaye babaagale, kubanga nabo baana. Kubanga oyinza okubeera awo nga tolina maanyi, gy'olina akuyamba n'akuleetera amazzi n'okulabya n'onywa oba n'ayoza ebintu, babaweererere babasomese, kubanga omwana bw'abanga tasomye talina future.